guys, it's time to look at the finished product. Okay. Some of the rubber bands have already popped, and that's why I do kind of like these rubber bands, because they just decide whenever they feel like it, like, yep, we're going to just go ahead and come right on out. Some pieces to them I noticed on the ground and stuff, so and let's do it like this in the mirror so you guys can see the back. Gonna just give you, there we go, try to do a close-up. Okay, let me try to do it like this. I'm hoping this is capturing it. There we go, alright. So hopefully you guys are seeing that. Okay. Alright, so yep, that's the deal. And I think these definitely came out 1,000 times better. Sorry. 1,000 times better than when I did them the first time. They're much more consistent. They're separated better. They're laying about the same. I don't see any difference in how they're laying on my scalp, but they are much neater. In fact, if I was to say, I'm going to go outside like this, I could, without any wig on, without a hat, without a scarf, because they came out that pretty, that evened out, and that nice. So, yeah, I don't take out the bobby pins. The bobby pins are for security, of course, to hold them in place. And that's that. So, this was not just to show you guys the outcome of my hair. I have some horrible news. Well, it's not horrible. Let me not say that. Give you guys the wrong impression of what's taking place. I have some bad news about something I was expecting to get that somebody is attempting to steal. Okay? Hope that makes sense, but it will when I finish telling you guys the story. So anyway, I was going to tell you guys during when I got what I was waiting for. I was going to tell you guys, I was going to do an unboxing of this thing, and I mentioned it to you guys before I even um, did these hair things or whatever, and that is that I needed to get a new laptop, right? And a new phone and some other stuff. So anyway, I ordered the laptop on Amazon. Excuse me. It's supposed to be coming between the 5th and the 7th. However, a FedEx worker has lied and said that they dropped off my laptop yesterday, which was the 3rd. It's what time is it? It is 3:50. So basically 4 o'clock in the a.m. on the 4th. So yesterday they said at 1:33 p.m. they dropped off my laptop in front of the door, and they didn't, because the day before the Ring doorbell got fixed. Bonnie, the lady who runs this place, I've mentioned her before in other videos, came over to discuss some things, and in the midst of that, she let me know that her maintenance gentleman, Michael, was going to be coming over and fixing the Ring doorbell, which he did, and he tested it by ringing it. She was able to see, you know, um, the surrounding area, so it was fixed. So what I asked her to do is if she could go on, because it is the weekend. So I did have to call her when she was, I suppose, at home or not actually on the job or whatever. But she checked the video and she said, yeah, somebody came and delivered something, but it was for the person across from me. And they are also but they are a different number for the address. And when I went over, the lady mentioned, yeah, I got something, but it was from Walmart. And she showed me what she got. And then Bonnie confirmed, yes, because it wasn't a person in a FedEx truck. It wasn't a person in a uniform that delivered this young lady's stuff. So she said, I looked at all angles, and there is no FedEx truck anywhere around for the entire day or that night. And there was no FedEx worker dropping anything at the door. So now I had to call and speak to someone from FedEx who said they're going to open up an investigation. And basically, of course, they're going to have to speak to whomever claimed to drop off my box and find out exactly what they did. Now, what I believe happened is I wasn't expecting the box until between the 5th and the 7th, which I'm sure shows up on a manifesto for any delivery persons um, at any, DHL, USPS, all these people, FedEx included, you know, I'm pretty sure they get a manifesto of when something's going to be expected, but if they get it earlier, they deliver it earlier. However, I believe what had happened was this person seen that I was not going to be expecting my box until between the 5th and the 7th, and possibly not even bothering to check to see if it's there any days prior to that date. Well, anybody knowing Amazon, Amazon will ship your stuff out to you, tell you you're not going to get it to the 13th, and you'll get it on the 1st. So it's like you have to check. They're not going to tell you, they're not going to call you, they're not going to ring your doorbell, they're not going to knock on your door. They're going to just drop off your box and bounce. And they're not going to tell you, yeah, it came early. You have to go and look on their site to see and track your package with whomever they said the package is being sent with, either themselves, and when it's themselves, you usually can track it all the way to your door on your cell phone or your computer or whatever that you use. But for whatever reason, FedEx does not take pictures of when they drop off your package, and it wasn't just mine. Mom got some things, and it was delivered. Well, she got one thing so far delivered to her, and there is no picture on Amazon, or I don't know whoever dropped it off to her. I could always check and see if they took a picture, and because they normally do that so that you can see this is left at your door. Well, for whatever purpose, there is no picture with FedEx. And there was no ringing of the doorbell. There was no knocking on the door. I was up since like I would say 7:50 something, 8 o'clock basically in the morning. So if they and I was on the phone with mom during that entire time that this person is saying that they dropped this box off. I was in the kitchen at the time when they said they dropped the box off, and I had opened up the door and just looked out. So that was more so around, I would say probably, I want to say two something or another, because the next time I looked out, it was 2:37, and that's when I noticed that it said that the box had been delivered. So from 1:33 p.m. to 2:37 when I looked out, you're claiming somebody just walked up on here and took it? I mean, not that that's impossible, but you never delivered it. Because if that was the case, even if you had dropped it off and somebody came up and took it, that would at least show up on the video as well. Whoever was taking it would show up that they were taking it. So your truck, even okay, let's say you parked your truck on the side on the street, on the side of the street, in front of where I stay. You still would be seen because the doorbell is right where you would have to walk past it or you would have to go underneath it in order to put the box down. And the day before, mind you, I got a box um, of my cachava, as I had told you, and I got that. And there's a lady that sits outside across from me diagonally. She's always out there. She didn't happen to be out there during that particular time, between 1:30 and any other time after that until I saw her, which was, like I said, around two something or another. She was out there, but she said she hadn't been out there all day, so she didn't see anything. But she said the day before she saw a box, and she was like, and that box was out there for a little while. And I was like, yeah, I got that one, and which was my Kachava. But I don't know who delivered my Kachava. I don't know if it was FedEx, UPS, or someone else. But I do know that I got that, and she said, "Yeah, I was out here a lot, and almost all day, and I seen that box sitting there. Now, if nobody came up and got that box, why would they come up the next day and get a different box? And like I said, they're not showing up on Ring Doorbell. So, yeah, that person, unfortunately, during the holidays is most likely going to get fired once they're, discovered who specifically was to drop that off. And they're still going to have to drop off my box, basically. There's no way you're going to be able to hold on to it. And if you gave it away already within that couple of, hours, or whenever they, by the time they got to you and found out who you were, if you gave it away, you're still going to have to replace mine. So one way or another, I will still get my laptop, but it's just really sad that this is happening. I was very excited, but I also was shocked because I even said to myself when I looked, I was like, "Oh, it's here already?" That's what I said because that just didn't, from the time I ordered it till the third. Like I ordered it on the was it the 29th or the third? No, on the 29th. And so that's only like 5 days. And although that may seem like a lot, you have to understand that it was coming from um, New Hampshire, and something Berry, New Hampshire, or Derry, New Hampshire. But anyway, yeah, when I looked at where it was coming from and seeing how it had to go from facility to facility to facility to facility, get picked up, be carried here, put in this facility, I'm like, there's no way in hell it's going to be here until at least the 5th. But for it to arrive 2 days early, I'm like, okay, well, shocked by it, but okay. And to look out there and see nothing, I'm like, yeah, I even went to the mailbox. Now, you cannot fit a laptop in a mailbox, but I checked anyway, just to be, checked around the surrounding area because the person mentioned they left it on the porch. You're like, no, you didn't. You didn't leave it on the porch. You never dropped it off. You never even came here, as a matter of fact, or you would have known that Ring Doorbell was there and you would have left it on the porch. You feel me? Like you would have left it because that you don't know if that's a working Ring Doorbell, but you would have assumed that it was. So you would have left it on the porch, which means you never came here because you would have noticed that. And I don't think a person that works for some place as prestigious as FedEx would be so bold as to be like, oh, I'm gonna pretend, even though I see this Ring Doorbell here, I'm gonna pretend like I left it. Like, I don't think a person would take that kind of risk. But long story short, I don't know when I'm going to get my laptop. I'm hoping between the 5th and the 7th, like they said, still, that it will be solved and I will get it, um, when I'm supposed to get it. And yeah, that was a little sad. It's horrible to me because it's part of me doing this channel, having better equipment to work with because you guys know about my laptop being, um, broken. This is also a two-in-one laptop. Um, Tablet combo, but it doesn't come apart like this one does. I can't take off and just use the laptop alone, but I can flip it all the way where back is touching back. It also has a lit up keyboard. The keyboard has a backlight, which I also like because I tend to not want to turn this big light on when I'm doing some of the work. And with my sight and the dimness of this light here, and where I usually lay the laptop to do any work on, that would have been a godsend to be able to see the keys and things like that without having to use any extra lights or lighting. But yeah, it's a sad situation because I'm thinking that this person thought I wasn't going to check until around the 5th, and then discover that it had come on the 3rd, and be like, that person would have the chance to be like, oh well, you didn't check, and somebody, if it sat out there all day and night for 2 days or even, overnight, somebody probably took it. Like, no, bro, that's not, for sis, that's not what happened. So yeah, I talked to my mom about it. She was, actually not upset about the situation, more very vicious about what should happen to this person after I told her what the scenario might have been. Very vicious about what should happen to this person. And yeah. So for a Catholic, non-forgiving, and didn't even think of any other possible scenario that could have happened, I say to myself, for situations like this during the holidays, I don't know. Maybe the person was being malicious. Or maybe the person had a grandparent who needed medical bills paid and they were just going around stealing whatever they can steal to sell, you know? thinking they can possibly get away with it or replace it by the time it was supposed to be wherever, or I don't know. But I do know that unfortunately things happen. And like I said, if they were being malicious, well, that's God's to deal with that, you know? If they weren't being malicious, that's also God to deal with that. And for, like I said, I'm not a Catholic. I have no religion. I'm just very spiritual. I do believe in God, as you guys can clearly hear and tell. And I do believe he has been blessing me left and right after that conversation with my mother, and how I felt, and you know how I came across and how I pleaded with him. And I do believe he answered my prayers in a lot of different ways. And I wanted to wait until I had my new phone, my new laptop, and do my new videos and let you guys see. You know, then tell you guys what had been taking place and how everything came about, but it seems to be going in this particular route, you know, sticking this route. And I'm still going to be able to get my new cell phone. I didn't get anything, you know, pick out anything expensive. It's actually still a Samsung, so an Android. It's still a Samsung Galaxy A13 5G. So I picked that out, and I figure like this: if it's still on the market to get, and it's going to serve the purpose I need, and in fact it has a lot more capabilities than any government phone, of course. I can get better quality filming, you know, and also better quality sound, things like that. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed, but at the same time it wasn't supposed to be here until um the day after today anyway, or Wednesday. So like it's not really pressing. Now, had it been on the 7th or something like that when I was really, really expecting it, and this person did that, I think I probably would have been a little more angry, you know. But I've noticed, like I said, God working for me in various and mysterious ways. Therefore, I'm a lot more humble at this point. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a lot more humble. So, because of that, we'll wait and see what Brian is able to accomplish with the investigation. So, yeah, other than that, you guys are still gonna go with me when I get my phone, and when I go back to Hemp Nook, I'll take you guys there too, so you guys can take a look see at where I go to, the dispensary I go to. I'm gonna ask the gentleman there if he has any issues with me filming for my YouTube channel, and if he doesn't, then he's gonna hopefully get some exposure for those who may live around where I'm at and didn't even know that place existed or something like that, and they happen to be, you know, interested in the medical, uh, the medicinal purposes of it. You know, like I said, you guys have seen, I do not smoke or take anything for recreational purposes. There's nobody around me. I'm not partying. I'm not, you know, there's no loud music playing. You understand? Like there's nothing. So it's for the purpose I show you guys it's for, and you'll continue to see that now that I'll be able to get it on a steady basis. And yeah, and when I do have everything, and then I will talk about how everything went down. So this is going to be a shorter, very much shorter video than what has been being put out lately. And yeah, it's just to give you guys, you know, the hair results and let you know what happened. And yeah, that's it. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon and keep you updated, of course, on what's going on with this whole situation. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. All right. So this has been Angel Queen's Triumph, and I'm your home girl, Angel Queen. Bye. Oh my goodness, I forgot something, guys. I wanted to also show you something. Do you see my hands? I don't know if you guys can tell. This side is extremely swollen. There we go. That might be a better view. My whole hand. I don't know what happened. Couldn't tell you. The wrist has been very sore, but nothing's wrong with it. As you can see, I can, but now moving it around, it had been popping a lot lately. It had been getting stiff, and there'd be a pain, and I'd have to pop it, and the pain would go away. But there's not a huge difference in my wrists, as you can clearly see, that is noticeable. But there is a pain inside here that right now I don't feel, but for whatever reason, my hand is taking on. So I'm waiting for it to swell down. But outside of that, it was a lot more puffy than this. So it's actually going down. Thank goodness, because I was just about to be like, okay, I'm not going in for it though. I'm going to tell you that much. I'm not going to the doctor for it. But I just wanted to show you guys that, because I looked down and just remembered. All right. So anyway, talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.